Hello, Too Cool Stamping friends. This is Angie, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. I'm Angie, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I'm starting out a little different this time. I usually have my face on screen, but I wanted to just jump right in and start talking about this awesome new suite that we have. And I was gonna hold it up and show you, and I thought it's gonna be better if you actually look at it the right way, flip the right way, and I'll just show you all the products in the suite. Then we're gonna make several projects, and like we do usually, we have a live class kit available afterwards, so you'll be able to place an order with me for at least $35 or more using the host code that I have here at the top of the screen. And when you do that, then I will send you out a card kit that will allow you to make all the cards, not all the cards, but 6 of the cards that we're going to see today. I usually do 2 cool versions, or have another version that I've been inspired by from a swap. So anyway, I wanted to start out by showing you the Ornate Garden Suite. It's a brand new suite that is available starting here in April, and it's actually a pre-release item. It's an early release from the upcoming catalog. Our catalog doesn't come out until June 3rd to be exact, and this is a suite that is going to be available in that catalog. But we get a sneak peek of that and we can order it right away, and I have some fantastic projects that I want to show you today. And then we also have another class that you can purchase, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But first, let's introduce you to the Ornate Garden Suite. So the thing I love about this suite, it is really all encompassing. You have 2 bundles in the suite. You start out with the Ornate Style stamp set with some beautiful floral images. And I'll go ahead and give you the numbers of everything as we're going so that you can write that down if you want. And if you want to, I actually have a flyer on my website, toocoolstamping.com. You can go to that right now and click on the PDF link for this, and you can have a flyer printout of all the different pieces of this suite with all of the product numbers as well. So that's very handy. Just go to toocoolstamping.com. Okay, so Ornate Style, that one by itself, just the stamp set, is going to be 152 572 152 572. But I recommend getting it in the bundle. This is a beautiful die set. Look how intricate those dies are. It's called Ornate Layers dies. Absolutely gorgeous. There are so many possibilities with layering, and all of those intricate borders are just absolutely gorgeous. So if you want just the dies, 152 726. But I recommend getting them together. You're going to save 10% when you get them together as a bundle, and that bundle is 154119. So again, I have all of the flyer at toocoolstamping.com if you missed those numbers. Okay, the second bundle, you have the Ornate Thanks, and I absolutely adore this. This is obviously all thank you sentiments, but there's some other sentiments here that you can use for other things, just my friend, or you're amazing, you made my day. Lots of different sentiments that you can use together or separately. So I love that. Ornate Thanks, let me give you the number, is 149471 if you just want the stamp set. Then if you want the dies with it, this is called the Ornate Borders Dies. Again, just like the other one, these are so intricate, and we're going to be using one of these today, but you're going to love these. And you also get some little flowers that you can use to add as little accents too. So lots of really pretty borders. That's Ornate Borders Dies, and alone that is 152724. But again, I recommend getting them together. It's 10% off when you buy them together as a bundle, and that bundle item number is 154115. So those are the 2 bundles that are in this set. So I love that it has a sentiment set and the image set, and then so many gorgeous, gorgeous dies. So those are the featured products. Of course, I also love the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer Series paper. It's special because you can see that many of the sheets have some gold accented foiling on them. And let me show you these patterns up close. So this doesn't have any foil on it, but it's so pretty. And it actually has a brand new color. It says on the back that there's a color called Bumblebee. So I'm assuming that's a brand new in color for us in the upcoming catalog. So there's the back side to that, just a really nice pattern in Old Olive. Then we have this mint macaron with the pretty foiling, and then some more flowers on the back. You have terracotta tile, Old Olive, the Bumblebee, and mint macaron is the other, and early espresso as well. So this is some daisies and then a terracotta tile pattern on the back. This one is an Old Olive with some foiling on that, really pretty, and another floral with kind of a mint macaron base. And then two of them that are gold on white, so that you can alter this. You can add color to it, sponge on color, brayer on ink. You can just do a direct to paper with your ink pad. Some really pretty possibilities with this paper. So this is one with some gorgeous daisies on the back. I love that pattern. And then the last one is another version. It's kind of, excuse me, it's kind of like this pattern, only in gold foil on white. Really pretty. And then another kind of a yellow, maybe it's that bumblebee color. It's kind of like a lighter or maybe brighter than Crushed Curry, but a little bit darker than Daffodil Delight. So anyway, that's what I'm assuming that is, called Bumblebee. All right, so that is our Ornate Garden paper. I love it. That number is 152488, and it is $15. So it looks like we're gonna have probably some price increases in the catalog, just to give you a little tip. Usually they're $14.50, so it has, this paper is $15. Okay, next in the suite, we have, and it'll be hard to see this, I'm sure, and I don't have a sample with me. Let's see if I can find one. Here we go. One of the cards that we're gonna do in a minute is gonna use this piece. So this is called Ornate Floral, and it's a really intricate, detailed 3D embossing folder. The number is 152725. So that is going to be really pretty. I love how the flowers just are like tiny little versions of the little flowers that are in the designer series paper. And then we also have the Ornate Garden ribbon. This is beautiful ribbon. I love it. It's very easy to tie. It's kind of, it's not really satin. I like a taffeta, and it's a 1/4 inch. You'll get it in the terracotta tile and also the Old Olive. You get 5 yards of each in a combo pack. So that's the Ornate Garden ribbon combo pack. The number on that is 152479. 152479. And then the last item is a fun little jewel. You know how I like to add sparkle to my projects. So these are gilded gems, and they essentially, they're a gold color, and they're just kind of like a rhinestone, only they're like a full gold metallic. So they're like little metal gilded gems. So I love that. It's a really fun accent. We're going to be using that on our projects today too. So many things. I wanted to also tell you that, of course, you can buy all of these items separately, but it's very handy to go to my website, toocoolstamping.com, print out this 3-page PDF of the flyer. It has all the different pieces on here and all of the prices, all of the item numbers. That's going to be the best way to find what you're looking for. I encourage you to get the whole collection. It's not necessarily at a savings, but it's a really simple, just one product number, 154153. It's $136.75, but that price includes the 10% off that you're going to receive on these 2 bundles. So you're going to get the discounted bundles in there, and it has one of everything. You'll get one of the designer series paper, the embossing folder, ribbon combo pack, and the gilded gems, all with one product number. So I encourage you to do that. And I wanted to let you know, I actually have 2 different card kits that you'll be able to purchase for right now anyway. I'm gonna show you several projects, like I mentioned, doing our normal live class. And for those 6 projects that I'll feature today, you'll be able to get the class kit with a $35 order. And then you'll use this host code M3CPW726. Use that host code with a $35 minimum order, excuse me, and you're gonna get that 6 card class that I'm gonna show you the cards in just a minute. I also have a larger 20 card Ornate Garden Suite Class to Go kit that I'm offering. This is a card kit that's going to have, it's if you purchase the entire suite, so use that number 154153, get the entire collection, and I will send you for free a 20 card kit. You're going to get all of the additional supplies. So anything you already have in the kit, the designer series paper or the ribbon or the gilded gems, all of those will be in your kit. And then I'll send you any additional pieces that you need to make the 20 different card ideas that I will send you. Excuse me. So I'm going to have the card bases, any pre-cut pieces, any layering. I will because they're so intricate, all the dies are so intricate, and you will have those, then I'm just going to give you the cardstock, and then you'll need to run that through. So I figured that was going to be the best way to keep it a little bit more simple on my end. Otherwise, I'm going to maybe go insane doing all of those die cuts for you. But I thought I'll just give you the cardstock. You'll have the dies, and you'll be able to run that through and have those layers done. So, but you'll get any of the other pre-cut pieces that I have, and if I use any other ribbon or things that are not included in your kit, that'll be included. Also, you'll get envelopes for all 20 cards and a full color tutorial for each of the cards that you'll be doing. So there won't be a video specifically for all 20 cards, but you will have step-by-step instructions there. So again, we're going to use the same host code, but this is when you purchase the entire suite. So I wanted to give you 2 options for that. If you don't want to spend enough to get the entire suite, if you just want pieces of it, that's fine. Just go for the $35 minimum order, and I'll get you that 6 card kit. And then if you want the full suite, this is the one to go for. Same host code, and I know you're going to love it. Another disclaimer I've written here, and it's also on my website. If your order totals $150 or more, so our class kit is $136.75. If you want to go up to the $150 level, you'll actually qualify for Stampin' Rewards. Those are dollars that you earn 10% of your order, so you would have at least $15 to spend, and you can spend it on anything you want on that order. So I encourage you to do that if you'd like to, but if you do, here's the catch. Do not use the host code. When you use that host code, that is going to take away those Stampin' Rewards. I want you to have them. So if you have an order that's $150 or more, don't use the host code. Keep your Stampin' Rewards. When you use the host code, that's going to take away your Stampin' Rewards. It essentially gives that type of thing to me, and I want you to keep them and enjoy them yourself. So I'll know that your order is over $150, I'm automatically going to send you that 20 card kit, and you won't have to do anything else. So never fear. And if you have any questions about that, please let me know before you submit your order. I don't want you to accidentally use your host code and not get those Stampin' Rewards. Okay, so I had to make a note on that. All right, let's make some projects with this awesome suite. Okay, clean off my area here. So the first card I have for you, we're going to start out with a So Saffron card base. And I'm going to have all the measurements and everything on my post a little bit later today. And I'll also be blogging about a lot of these projects as well. And I wanted to also point out several of these cards that we're showing today will be included in the 20 card kit. So there's some overlap there. I didn't want you to miss out on these as well, but I just thought I would offer two sizes of kits in case you didn't want the whole suite. So here's our So Saffron card base. And then I wanted to really showcase the Designer Series paper. And so I took some of the Ornate Garden Designer Series paper, actually I cut a 4 by 5 1/4 piece, and then just went corner to corner on my paper trimmer, and the same with this one. So I'm gonna put these on my card base with a little bit of snail. And this will go right in the corner here. Whoops. Oh, okay, we're just gonna have to go with it. I hate it when I put it down crooked. And then we'll butt this one right up to it. Might have to do a little bit of overlap because I made it a little bit crooked. That's what a handmade card is all about. I'm gonna just fix it. See, you're not gonna see this. You're just gonna cut that little part off so it looks like it's matched up perfectly. See, we fixed it. All right, so there is our card base and our background. Next, I've already die cut one of these really pretty borders. Actually, it's the layers, it's the Ornate layers. And there's so many of these to choose from. Look at all the different sizes that you can choose from. So many. I mean, I can't even wait to use all of them. They're so much fun. But I think this is going to be one of the most popular sizes because it's just kind of a really versatile element that you can put on your card. So there's that. We're going to stamp a little sentiment. I'm going to use Early Espresso. That's the dark color of ink that coordinates with the paper. And I'm going to use the Thanks. And that one is from the Sentiment scent, remember? That's the Ornate Thanks. And I want to use my paper piercing mat here because this is the photopolymer. I like to make sure I have a little bit of cushion underneath there. So there's that. And I love the way these sentiments coordinate together. So you can use just Thanks, you can use just some of these sentiments down here, or you can mix and match together. So I'm gonna add in Ever So Much underneath. I love that font too. Isn't that pretty? All right. So we'll add that onto our die cut here. And that die cut was in the terracotta tile. We're gonna pop that up with a couple of dimensionals. So we'll put some of those on there. And add that to our card. All right, next we're gonna add just a couple of accents, and I'm gonna put this underneath. We're gonna make this little flower, and that comes from the Ornate Style stamp set. So that's where you're getting all the images. And we're gonna ink that up also in Early Espresso. And get just a little more ink, there we go. And I have a little piece of Whisper White here. I just need enough that I'm going to actually cut that daisy out. We're gonna color it in. It's gonna be a white daisy, so not much coloring. I'm gonna use crushed curry for the inside here. And then I just use my paper snips and cut that out. And I'm gonna use just a tiny bit of snail adhesive and add that to the corner here. I'm gonna finish up with a little bow that I've already created with the Ornate Garden ribbon combo pack. I'm going to use my glue dots here and just stick that on a glue dot, peel it off, and add that little ribbon. And then of course, you know what we need to do. We're going to add one gilded gem over here for a little bit of sparkle. So there's our first card. Isn't that pretty? I love that diagonal look. I made another Too Cool version. And these are actually, I used the back sides of these two pieces, and that was the combination that it came up with. So it had kind of a mint macaron. I used a mint macaron card base, old olive for my decorative die cut layer. There's another little flower here right here in the corner that I did that matched this paper a little bit better. So I did two of those. Now we don't have terracotta tile markers. We do in the Stampin' Write markers, but as far as the Stampin' Blends markers, we don't. But the light Calypso Coral and dark Calypso Coral go really well with that. So you can use that. And then we also use some terracotta tile ribbon on this one. So those are the first two cool versions. This is the one that's going to come in your card, your 6 card kit for the live class. And it's also the one that's going to be in your 20 card kit. So just one of those two versions. All right. Now we're going to go to the next card. The next one, we're going to start with an old olive vertically folded card base. So this is 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at the 5 1/2 mark. This one, I'm going to give the background this the ornate floral. You could use tear and tape if you wanted to. This one actually has enough, it has enough that I feel like it doesn't need to have the tear and tape. It has enough grip on it. Okay, so there's your background. Next, I'm going to use this little piece of, I love this piece. I hate covering that up, but I love the floral print on the other side here. So we'll add that with a little bit of snail. That right along the bottom. Actually, I'm going to have just a hint of white showing. I like that look. Okay, next I'm going to, I already cut this. This is a die cut from the Stitched So Sweetly dies, which unfortunately are currently not orderable. We do have a few products that because of the whole pandemic and some difficulty getting things in from China, we have a few things that are in back order that we're not quite sure when they're coming in yet. They will come in eventually, but the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which I love so much, those are on that list. So you'll have to, if you haven't gotten those already, definitely keep them on your wish list. They're so, so awesome, but you're gonna need to just hold on for that. All right, we're gonna put that here. Next, we have that same die cut again, this time in Whisper White. Isn't that gorgeous? It just amazes me. I love it. Then we're going to stamp our daisy stamp that we just used on the other card. And we'll stamp that directly onto the white. We'll color that in with that same, let's see. Actually, I'm going to color it. I'm going to color it a little bit differently. I'm going to use that light Calypso Coral. We want it to really match this terracotta tile look. So it's the brush tip end of the light Calypso Coral Stampin' Blends marker. If you wanted to do some shading, you could certainly do that. I'm just gonna do some quick coloring just to give you an idea. All right, and then the middle, we'll add some dark Calypso coral. So pretty. And let's add a little light old olive for our leaf. All right, we're gonna add some dimensionals on the back. Might need 5 on this one, I think. All right. And I just realized that I forgot a step. So I was going to add, ooh, will it come off? It's going to add a little bit of ribbon on here before I tack that down. I have some of that terracotta tile ribbon, and we're gonna put that on here, right along that seam. Gotta dress it up just a little. And we'll just tie that in a double knot, trim the edges off, and kind of scoot that around. There we go. Now let's add this. We'll put a little bit more snail on it. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty. I have, do you see I have one little dot here that I didn't get poked out. There we go. So that's that. Let's add a sentiment to it. We're gonna add, I did a die cut already from the Ornate Frames dies. I so hope that they stay in the new catalog. They're from the holiday flyer from last season. And this time I'm just gonna put my friend on the sentiment. I'm gonna add that down here at the bottom with a couple of dimensionals. So cute. And since it's kind of a short sentiment, I'm gonna add a couple of those gilded gems on each side. And maybe a larger one up here. All right. You know what might be kind of fun is to use a little bit of the Wink of Stella. I love it. Gives just a little bit of shimmer to our flower. Let's add that. Can you see that shimmer? I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but there we go. Maybe you can see a little bit of it. So that is our second card. So your 6-card kit is going to have this card in it. And I actually got that idea from Amy Story, sent me this swap card, and I absolutely loved it. I really like it in the yellow, or bumblebee, I'm assuming. I just thought it was really pretty. So she used the old olive, and she has a different daisy pattern down here and the same basic design. So this is the card that you're going to get in the 20-card kit. This is the one that you're going to get in the 6-card kit. So that's our 2 cool versions again. All right, let's try our next card. This one, we're gonna do some coloring. My bucket of supplies over here. We're gonna start with a piece of Whisper White, the thick version. So if you're gonna use Whisper White as a card base, I always recommend using the thick cardstock. So there's our card base. I have a piece here of basic black. We'll add that across the front. About right here. Next, we're going to add that piece of Flirty Flamingo that I showed you earlier and already embossed with the Ornate Floral. Add that right over the top so that black is just going to peek out of the edges. Next, I am going to stamp this great big floral image. Absolutely adore it. So we have, this set is in cling, the other one is in photopolymer. So I love that the sentiments are photopolymer so you can see exactly where you're going to position that sentiment. But the flowers, sorry I'm moving the camera around, the flowers are with the cling, so that'll make a really nice impression. So I'm just going to stamp over the top of this piece. Oh, that was Memento Tuxedo Black ink that I used. So there is our floral. And then I've actually already started coloring. I knew it was going to take a little bit of time to color, so I'd started one already. And this one has light old olive for the leaves. I used the Flirty Flamingo dark to match the Flirty Flamingo card front there. Some dark petal pink. And let's see. I have some purple posy light I'm going to use for these other flowers. So again, you could take some time and do some shading if you wanted to. I'm just adding some color. I like to add, I like the brush tip side for adding lots of color really quickly. You want to make sure that you're using the side when you're coloring, not the tip. Don't go down on your tip because you can see this one's already starting to get a little bit worn on the tip. It starts to not be as pointy. So you want to be careful not to press too hard right directly on that tip if you can help it, and just use the side. All right, so there's our purple posy flowers. I'm going to use some, this is the dark Highland Heather, and I'm going to use the fine point to just add little purple centers for all of these flowers. And I still need to fill in the daisy. I'm just going to use that crushed curry again for those. We're going to mat that on some basic black. Again, I'm going to have all the measurements on this post later today, as well as on my blog post when I blog about each project individually. So here is our focal point. I think that's so, so pretty. We're going to be popping that up with some dimensionals again. And then we'll just add a quick sentiment. So here is, oh, I think that's so pretty. Then we're going to, again, I have the ornate frames. I cut a little die cut of that out again. And this time, I'm going to add a different sentiment. This one says, "You're amazing." That's a great one. And we're just gonna add that with some snail. Right here across the side. Let me go up just a little tiny bit. There we go. And then we'll add some gilded gems again. Let's do a large one down here at the bottom. And then We'll do a couple small ones here at the top. There we go. So I love this because even though I love the color combinations in the designer series paper, when you use these beautiful images, you can make, you can use any color combination that you love. I started with this one as well. And actually I was going to use some old olive rhinestones on this one because I thought it would be fun. I did this one in mint macaron and did some different coloring here. Mint macaron leaves. I did lovely lipstick for the flowers here, and these were in Highland Heather, and the middle ones were in Balmy Blue. So, and I also used the stitched rectangles dies for that, for just a little bit different shape for the sentiment. The Noble Peacock rhinestones, I used the pink rhinestones there, and I was actually going to use the green old olive ones that were from the Noble Peacock. So for your kit, you're actually going to get enough card supplies for both of these. That way you can kind of play with both the mint macaron and the fleur de flamingo and different color combinations. You can color with whatever colors that you have available. So look for those. You'll have both of those in your 6 card kit. In your 20 card kit, you're just going to get one. So, and it'll be the mint macaron version. So you can color it any way you want to with mint macaron as part of your color combination. All right. Next, we have 2 more cards. We might go over just a little bit today. That's all right. It is worth it. We have lots of fun stuff here. All right, this is a card that I was inspired by Susie Wood, sent me a swap card, and I'll show you her card in a minute. But we're starting out with a modified card base. It's, I'll have to give you the measurement. I'm pretty sure that it's 7.5 by 4 1/4, and it's just scored at 5.5 this way. So we have a little card flap here. I'm gonna give that one a good crease. What I actually did was I cut a vertical piece, so I started with an 11 by 4 1/4. I cut this part off at 7.5. Then I cut another little strip off at 1 1/4, and then I have an extra piece here that we're going to use on a different part. So this is the extra piece. You can see how that all was just part of that one card strip. So we'll save this, and we're going to start by adding some, let's see, I need to clean, I'm going to use this stamp this time. I'm going to clean that up real quick using my Stamp and Scrub. So we're going to actually ink that up with some terracotta tile. And I'm just inking up part of it because I only need a little part right here on the edge. So I'm just going to stamp a little on the side here, and then I'm also going to stamp on this other little piece. So that's really pretty. And then I'm going to add the inside of the card. So this is just a 5 1/4 by 4. Add that with snail. I've never done a card like this, and I didn't even do a practice version, so we're going to hope that it turns out okay. This is kind of a fun fold card. So see how that's going to go together like this, and then we're going to have a connecting bridge that is in the center. So for that, we're going to have a piece of old olive, and then we also have this piece of designer series paper. We're going to add those layers together. And let's connect those. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some tear and tape on both sides, so you can kind of see if you put this where you want it to be. This little piece is going to go flush, and then flip your card over, or flip your layer over, and you can use You can either use liquid glue. I like actually just using tear and tape. So for positioning purposes, I'm going to put one piece here. So you can see what I'm doing this to know that I'm not going to put any tape on this side because we want it to stick just to this little panel. And the same goes for this side. Whoops, I just stuck that together. Hold on. All right. So we'll kind of put this back to where we want it. So this is just for positioning purposes. And then to make it nice and secure, I'm going to add 2 strips. So I'll put one on the outside as well. All right. So let me get this backing off. All right, now we're going to make that bridge. Let's put everything where we want it to be. Make sure that that is nice and flush to your background. And then, whoops, I want to make sure that it's this way. This is the trickiest part, keeping that all together. Once I get it there, I'm just going to stop touching it. Weep. All right. Now, we'll add that. We'll lay it down carefully on that side. I made it move just a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. Now we have this nice bridge. Do you see that? I love that look. It's just kind of fun and different. Makes it a little bit creative. So there's our bridge. When you use that tear and tape, and the liquid glue is going to do it too. You just need to, for this purpose, I wanted it to stick down, and once I got it in place, I just wanted it to be really stuck well. With the liquid glue, you're going to have to hold it in place for a little bit just to make sure that that's nice and dried up. So it'll have a nice secure hold. All right, so let's finish the card up. I stamped, or I die cut this little piece here. This is actually from the Ornate layers. There's one little piece here. That's a rectangle. It's kind of like the stitched rectangle dies, only it's a little bit longer than we're used to. We're going to use the Early Espresso again. And this time we're going to use the So Grateful stamp from the Ornate Thanks. Let me make sure I have that nice and inked up. And we're going to pop that up onto our little bridge here, and it's going to be a little bit offset again. Make sure you don't get your dimensional too far over. Sorry, we're off the screen a little bit. And we'll add that here. We are going to add just a little terracotta tile ribbon. To the side right there. And of course, we need to add a little gilded gem for a little bit of sparkle. So we have So Grateful, and then let's put something, let's see. Let's put a little sentiment on the inside. So grateful for everything. Isn't that cool? I love that. Thank you, Susie Wood, for your awesome idea. Let me show you her card. So her card is this one, an Early Espresso. She also has just a little bit of a print, just like we did with the tone on tone. And she used a different pattern of the designer series paper. She had a few more layers than I did. I wanted to make mine a little more simple. And she used the old olive. So it's the same kind of a setup. So I love that. You're going to get my version in both the 6-card kit and the 12 card kit. Okay, one more card. We're going to run a little late today. Okay. So this one also uses a Whisper White card base, and it is a little bit shortened as well. So I have just a little piece that's cut off the side here. Again, I'll give you all those measurements later. We're going to add a piece of mint macaron and a piece of designer series paper, the Ornate Garden, onto it. Again, I hate covering up the pretty gold, but when both sides are so pretty, what do? You got to use both sides, right? So I'm going to layer these together, flush at the top and bottom, and a little bit sticking out, so that'll go on our card front. Whoops, I'm out of my snail. Always got to back up. All right, this one adds right there. Then we're going to add a ribbon up the side here. So some of that old olive ribbon. And we just did it in a double knot. And cut that off. Not sure where I want that yet. Thinking probably up here. And the next thing I did was I pre-die cut from our Ornate Layers dies. This has so many really pretty borders, and this one I absolutely love. And it's so intricate. And I want to tell you that when I did these die cuts, I actually ran them through with a precision plate. If you have a big shot, I ran it through with that, and that just made all the pieces so easy. I did have to use a little poker tool, a little piercing tool to pop out all of the pieces, but they just fell right out when I touched them. So that was awesome. So I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow. Whoops, little bit, not too much. That's too much. And you could use, if you use a silicone mat and a sponge, you can get this glue on really nicely. I just want to use just a little bit, and I'm doing it really, really quickly. Make sure I didn't get too much on my background here. And I'm going to add this along this side. I just think this is so pretty. So this is going to peek out from the card front. And we do have a little bit hanging off here, so we're just going to trim that right off. And I'm getting a little bit of adhesive on my scissors. I have a tip for you there. If you have an adhesive remover, it almost looks like an eraser. If you just use that on your blades, just rubbing in the same direction on your blade, it'll eventually roll off any adhesive that you have on your blade. So look how that looks on the side. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Let's finish up with a sentiment. I already die cut this little piece. This is from the Stitched Rectangles dies. And I'm going to use this little decorative image right here with some So Saffron. Ink that up, and I want to stamp off. I want this to be really light. So I'm going to stamp off once and then stamp right over the top of my die. So it just gives it a little bit of light texture, light color. You might not even be able to see it very much in the camera. Then I'm going to stamp with the Early Espresso. I use a lot of Early Espresso with my sentiments because it matches so well. And then this sentiment is Your Kindness is So Loved, and we're just going to add that up at the top with a couple of dimensionals. Again, I want to position it. Do I want it down here? let's put it up here. I want to position it on here upside down so that I know that I'm not going to get my dimensionals on the part that is the inside. We don't want to tack it closed. So we'll add that right here. And then of course, another dimension or another gilded gem right here. So this is the last card. And then you have plenty of space in there to write. It's so pretty when you open that up. I just think that's really, really gorgeous. And there's so many different borders to choose from too. So I actually got this idea. Oh, this is from Ruth Bingle. This is a swap card that I just received from her. And I loved her design. And she used a different designer series paper here. She used the terracotta tile. She used My Friend, also really cool. And then she used this Stitch So Sweetly dies and did a little bit of terracotta tile sponging on her sentiment to make it pop. And that is all she wrote. So let me recap what you're going to get in that 6-card kit. And I just realized I might go back and change it, but I actually had a crushed curry mat that I was going to put underneath this sentiment. And I think that'll help it pop a little bit. So I might redo that a little bit before I blog about it, just because I think it'll make it pop. So imagine that this is behind this. And that gives a little bit more of a yellow pop to that card. Okay, so what are you going to get in your card class? You're going to get this one. This is for the 6-card kit. You're going to get both of these so you can color however you like. And then the So Grateful card and the Your Kindness is So Loved card. So these are all 4 of the cards you're going to get in the 6-card kit. Don't forget, you're going to use this host code for a $35 order or more, M3CPW726. That'll give you the 6-card kit for free. You'll have until next Tuesday to sign up for that. So that's going to be April 7th, I believe. And then I will get those mailed out at the end of the week. And then the 20-card kit that I mentioned, it's the same host code, but to qualify for that, you're going to purchase the entire Ornate Garden Suite. The numbers 154, 153, the entire thing. It's $136.75, but you get all of those products. You get the 2 bundles, you get the folder, you get the ribbon combo pack, you get the gilded gems, and the designer series paper. So you're going to have all of those in one kit. Remember, if your order is totaling $150 or more, don't use the hostess code. I want you to earn Stampin' Rewards on that $150 or more order. Use those Stampin' Rewards dollars to buy yourself something fun on that order, and I will know to automatically send you a card kit. So this is for the 20-card kit. So there's 2 different kits you can get. The larger one if you buy the entire suite, and then the 6-card kit if you just want to kind of pick and choose which ones you're going to get. So hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm having so much fun with this whole suite. I know I'm going to be making lots more cards, and I can't wait to show you additional cards that are going to be featured in the 20-card kit. You can look at my blog, toocoolstamping.com, in the coming days, and I'll have more samples of some of those 20 cards that will be in your kit. Don't forget, for that kit, you're going to get PDF tutorials. So you'll have step-by-step instructions, and you'll have all the card pieces, all of the cardstock you'll need for die cutting, and so you'll have everything that you need, including envelopes for those 20 cards. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me for this kind of an extended live class today. It's too much fun. I mean, you got to take extra time when it's a lot of fun, right? Okay, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you all stay well, stay healthy, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Angie with toocoolstamping.com. And I don't know if I told you, you should when you place your order, go to toocoolstamping.com and hit the shop now button. That'll be the quickest way to get to my online store. All right, this is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.